Hello, everybody. Welcome to Macanude Plays, presently live over on Macanude 117, where I am streaming this to be recorded for your viewing pleasure later in the future. If you would like to see this live, come find me over on the Purple app. Now, last we left off, we did the Suffering and Another Beast to start this arc off, and quoted. What were your thoughts on those two songs?
I might need to do a quick recap because I can't fully remember them. It was a little bit
Okay.
ago for me.
Suffering, yes, this is true. We There's a reason why this is going to seem a little strange because it's going to be the same time frame between videos. Quota took a week off, so it's been a little bit for him, a week plus. We did it at like the start of 2 weeks ago. Then we didn't do any more that week, and then he took a week off while he was hanging out with fam. So we're gonna go ahead and I will offer a small reminder. Suffering was them coming across the mermaid or the siren that was disguising itself as Penelope. And then Another Beast is when Odysseus proceeds to then unalive said group of mermaids.
Yeah, no, that was now you mentioned that, it's a very good memory.
It's easy to kind of jar those memories. Those were kind of intense.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I was also like in a drinking party, and we just recently had another drinking party because yesterday Liverpool won some football league. Anyway, it was kind of intriguing. I did like how he was smarter,
but more
than
malicious.
normal, but the maliciousness was definitely there.
I also
the human side of him.
did absolutely torment my guy because Quoted has been the biggest Eurylochus fan from day one.
Remind me, I will murder that man.
We're starting the song there, so we're going to be starting from that song, bud. So you might as well get that out of your system now. But Quoted has been literally Team Eurylochus all the way. And up until this point, he had plenty of reason to be. It seemed like Eurylochus was trying to do his best for him. Now, mind you, for the record, I have seen all of these. That's why I've been trying to pick the best animatics that I can remember as we've been going through the playlist. And this is my way to show my community this wonderful, wonderful musical. But also my buddy Quoted, who doesn't normally listen to this kind of stuff. Also, thank you for being first, Happy Orca. Welcome in. We're going to be continuing from Scylla. And I have it started at the beginning. I'm going to go ahead and tab over here real quick just so we can make it known. The animator on this one is GG, which is probably one of my favorites at this point, and that's going to bite me somewhere down the line because I'm going to have to choose between GG and another animator for when we do a reaction to a certain song, or we're going to do both of them because I want both artists to be seen. But
we should probably go for both. It was pretty decent last time we had to do both.
So it's going to be between GG and then that Nielsen person who did the Poseidon Ruthless song that we love the animatic for. And the song that they both did an animatic for is God Game. And they both did an amazing job. I've seen both of them myself, and I would love to see everybody's reaction to them. I've been listening to all this pretty much nonstop. Are you talking about the musical, the reactions? What you talking about, Happy Orca? Now, I'm going to go ahead and full screen this. Now we got GG pulled up. And as far as it goes, this reaction, this is my reminder. This is a reaction. All of it. I appreciate that, Happy Orca. Thank you. This is a reaction. If you want to go listen to the songs, I will have the links to all of the animatics. We do full shout out to Jorge, the one who made the musical, and everything else. But this is a reaction. We will be pausing. We'll be discussing. We'll be, going into the bits of lore that we can discuss on stream and everything else along that way. Now, all that being said, let's get into it. And this will also be your sound check to make sure the audio is good. If we have to raise the audio, we'll raise the audio. Might have to lower it a little bit, actually. Just a smidge.
A little bit more louder than normal.
That seems good.
This is our only way home. Deep down.
I love the voice in this. Or the Scylla's voice in this is so good.
Not much to say.
Deep down, you hide a reason for sure. I got a secret I can no longer keep deep down.
We're just pausing for two reasons. One, this is about to really pop off, but two, I have an idea for a future stream, and I want to know what everybody's opinions are going to be on this. And Quota, you be joining me for this because you've been through this journey with me.
Okay.
So, huh?
Okay.
Okay, so they got as many of the voices they could. They invited everybody to the actual, to actually Ithaca, and they did a full watch party of all of the songs together, like partying out, and it was released on YouTube as a video. Would you like to see them all like just goofing around, singing along to the songs and stuff? Because honestly, it is so wholesome.
You know what? Sure.
Yeah, it's a long
Maybe,
video.
like,
We might have to like do it in
revisit the
chunks.
idea later.
That was so much fun to watch. It was. I've seen it, but I would love to see everybody's reactions to it. I want to meet Jorge. As weird as that may sound, I know, whatever, you know, we're just in the video and I'm already dropping F-bombs. Whoops.
You're the one doing it. You told me to
Yeah,
get my-
no,
get out
apparently
of
my
my
emotions are hitting today. What is it called?
Sleep deprivation, huh?
A little bit. For those who don't know, I haven't slept like at all. I could not sleep last night, so we are going at this with coffee and good energy. But no, what is this? It's the type of relationship people have with streamers and content creators. There's a word for it. My brain ain't doing the word thing right now. I'll think of it later. Anyway, I know it may sound like that kind of I want to meet this man to pick his brain about like some of the instrumental choices and stuff. And he puts a lot of the information out on TikTok. Go check him out. He is under his name. If I try to pronounce the whole name, I'm horrible. Parasocial. Thank you. Yes, it may sound parasocial, but through the listening to this musical, I would love to talk with the man who made it. I think that would be such a banger interview to talk to Jorge and just discuss his creation ideas, the songs, what was his favorite to work on, what was the hardest, and
Time.
yeah, that would be an amazing time. Will it ever happen? Probably not. But would I want to do it? Absolutely. So after we go through all of this, there's going to be a lot of things that we're going to go back to and probably the final episode of this reaction. But one of the things I definitely want to do now that we've talked about it is go through and like, we probably won't record on YouTube. That would not be a YouTube video for us, but we would actually do a live stream of us all just sitting here watching and vibing out to Jorge and his people having a great time watching the masterpiece that they made. That sounds like fun.
That would sound insane.
I opened the wind bag while you were asleep.
I totally did not mean to pause it right before the betrayal comment from earlier that caused Quoted to have a mental breakdown, but that was great to come back to.
I knew you. I don't think
That
you
was-
realized
it was not
I
deliberate at
100%
all.
did. You didn't notice. I did.
So now Quote hasn't seen anything.
I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
GG, you are so evil. You'll see why I say that in just a moment.
Eurylochus, light up 6 torches.
Deep down, we're lonely demons from hell.
Captain, something approaches.
Hello.
The face covering the eel head. That Gigi did that way too well. Like, that is horrifying. Even with a simple animation style, that is jarring to see.
Yeah, no, that was
Bit of a
was
transition.
impressive.
Yeah.
The far.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Run for your life!
In your sorrow and fears, choke on your blood and your tears. Bleed till you run out of years. We must do what it takes to survive. Give up your honor and
Yeah, that happened. Hi, Kit. Hello
Ooh,
there.
full-on sacrifice, my
Yes.
guy.
So remember when I was talking about how Odie seems to have like some really interesting otherworldly knowledge of different locations? He knew how many torches to light, and he knew exactly what was going to happen. How he knew this, and nobody else on his crew knew what he was doing? Beyond me. This goes into that theory that Athena like was filling his head with knowledge. I actually do kind of want to look into that side of the lore to see exactly why he knows so much.
That is a good thing. That is something to be curious about. The only other option is maybe if the sirens had told them, but basically only really mentioned it to him,
That's a theory.
and then obviously he killed the sirens.
But also, wait, the
From-
moment that Penelope said Penelope, the sirens possess or showing Penelope as their her visage, said they later Scylla, his first lines in response was, "But that has a cost." He knew before at the moment she said the name. That was a part of
Oh, you
suffering.
know what? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I always wondered about that because, like I said,
Right.
as far as this otherworldly knowledge, every time something comes up, Odie kind of has the answer in some regard, and he knew what he was doing from get go. So this is kind of furthering into this Abyssius arc, as Danny Mata would say. He blatantly did this, and there was no hesitation. Now I want to point out, if we're talking about betrayals that led to kill counts, Eurylochus betrayed everybody or betrayed Odie, and it led to the death of over 500 men. Odie only got 6 killed on his decision. I'm just saying. It would make sense to King if he had have knowledge of any enemy, especially if he grew up just studying them with Athena. That's kind of my thought. Like I said, I think Athena had a big hand in it. But if we're talking about kill counts, I just want everybody to agree. Odie's his friendly fire kill count is still lower than Eurylochus.
Yeah, but there is the little thing of one being intentional and the other just being an idiot mistake.
Don't worry, there'll be more intentional stupidity coming soon.
And there's only like 40 or 30 odd people left.
Uh huh.
25, is it?
Uh huh. All right. So, hey, for the record, as we have done, if you have the ability, go subscribe to all of the animators that we see. Gigi has done amazing work with every single time I see them. I have yet to be disappointed by Gigi's handiwork. I love their art. And I was even talking about how I would love to get my model done in Gigi's art style as like a little profile picture someday. If they ever do commissions, I would love to see them draw me. Anywho, hey, Quoted, I'm going to rewind back a little bit. We're going to rewind history to a time where we were talking about a certain song, Luck Runs Out. And you mentioned how there would never be a mutiny, right?
Well, 5 seconds before this video started, I'd still probably go with that mentality. But
I gotta go catch a fight. Y'all have fun. All right. Hey, thank you. Oh, flight, not fight. Okay, that makes more sense. Wow, my vision's bad. I hope your flight goes well. Thank you for hanging out, Orca.
you were pretty quick to just accept that Orca was about to go fight.
In my community, it wouldn't surprise me. All right, I'm just saying. We have subscribed to this creator already. I'm trying to remember their name. Like how to say it. I believe said it was Crashite.
I'd say so. Crash right.
All right. Now this is mutiny.
Almost.
Yes, there was a mutiny. Quoted. It happens.
Good.
My ADHD is my worst enemy. Yours and mine,
about.
like fiddles. I spent an hour and a half this morning when I couldn't sleep just watching TikToks in bed. I knew it was pointless. Didn't do me any favors, but there I was, scrolling away.
Feel that. Did the same. Well, actually, I was reading manga, but...
And Kid did the same. The universal curse, everybody feels it. I'm sad to say, I'm at a point now in my life where I think TikTok has taken more hours out of my life than some of the games that I love more than anything. I've spent more hours on TikTok than playing Elden Ring. I can almost guarantee that. That is a horrifying reality.
Unlucky in my case because it's YouTube.
I am proud, by the way, Kit. Awesome that you're being more productive. I love it. I am always happy to hear that. I have YouTube usually in the background when I'm doing stuff to be productive, and whenever I sit down and I open up TikTok, it's only like I'll only do like 5 TikToks, half an hour passes. Damn it! Every time. All right. Thoughts on Scylla before we go into the mutiny.
Right. Um, I like the interpretation of Scylla. I don't ever think I've ever seen her seem like a Hydra dragon proper mix because she seemed to have a full-on body, but also had the other heads coming out of what seems like a Doctor Octopus back situation.
Yeah. The fact that we're eel heads is what
Um,
I always found really interesting.
Yeah, no, I think I'm actually like it's always interesting with Scylla. In fact, she was in Smite, and I think she had like eelish heads.
Oh, I see.
So,
I didn't play nearly enough Smite back in the day.
to be fair, she was also a child, so it was always weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be strange.
Generally though, interesting view of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Eurylochus, I mean not Eurylochus, but Odie's just not really trying to hide that he's done something at this point though.
No.
The fact that it was so obvious that only 6 people, like only the people who were holding torches, seem to be dying.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
So,
think
feel like
I
it's
think the
a
idea
bit
and concept
really good
was to have one person for each head of Scylla to chew on, so she couldn't hurt anybody else.
Yeah,
That
I
was the
assume that
idea.
was the idea.
Yeah, six pawns to sacrifice that she can munch on. Wow, like I said, all the other people row for your life. Their job was to just keep rowing, don't stop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, going into mutiny, you're gonna be more mad. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Not too surprised, but
Don't worry. After this arc, we're gonna be going into an arc I really love.
Tell me you did not know that would happen.
He did.
Say you didn't know how that would end. Look me in the eyes and tell me, Captain, that you did not just sacrifice 6 men.
Remember how we were talking about where I wish that Odie would like scream his lines sometimes, like when he's really emotional? I will give it to the voice of Eurylochus that when he is angry or at this moment right now where he's in this much like betrayal and pain, you can feel it. I can properly sit down.
like
For it now.
Yes. You can actually see even in his eyes right now there is a lot of like hope that he's wrong.
Yes.
So
Also,
yeah, I do really like it.
Kit, I'm sure Austin will very much like it. By the way, just a heads up, Kit's roomie, it's their birthday today, so a massive happy birthday to Austin, sweet soul that he is.
Happy birthday!
All right. But no, he wants this to be a lie. He wants to believe that Odie had no idea.
Yeah.
That you did not just sacrifice 6 men. Use your wits to try and say I'm crazy and mad. That this is all some trick the gods have sent. Tell me you did not miss home so painfully bad that you gave up the lives of 6 of our friends.
One of this probably, you know, the people that were around you while you opened the bag. Just saying. Just saying. Sorry. I'm bitter, okay?
There's a potential for that, but there's also a potential that the one that was opening the bag with him is also the one that we saw like trying to comfort him half a second ago.
Very possible. At the end of the day, like I said,
this shit.
I if we're going by kill counts here, Eurylochus does not have an argument. I get the whole like intentional versus unintentional, but at the end of the day, he couldn't keep his nose up or his hands off the freaking bag, his grubby little hands off the bag, and here we are.
Very true.
When we fought the Cyclops, you were quick to hatch a plan. And when we fought with Cersei, it was you who left behind no man. But when we saw this monster, we didn't take a stand. We just ran. Say something!
I can't!
I mean, he's being honest at least. He was up front.
I mean, yeah, Silica's like obviously like this is a bit of a silly thing, but obviously the Cyclops is a demigod by logic of its Poseidon's child. Silica's well known as a demigod.
Yeah, and
So-
on that same note, God, God, I believe I had it wrong. It wasn't Earth Elementals. That might have been what it was in the Percy Jackson series, but it was Poseidon with a sea nymph, I believe is what created Polyphemus.
All right.
Hey, Fuzz, hello there. Good to
Also,
see you.
The simple fact is, Eurylochus might not be realizing he's like probably not realized it, but he can very easily kind of escape responsibility in his mind that he has any responsibility for the deaths because Poseidon killed him, and then if you go back to the fact that Odysseus left the in Cyclops alive, then bottom line, nobody would have been dead in the first place. So I feel like in
Yeah.
a roundabout way, Eurylochus might partially blame Odysseus for the deaths, even though
I think it's a
technically his
blame
actions also led to
cluster
the deaths.
at the end of the day because it was the results of multiple people's actions that led to it. Because if the windbag never got opened, he would have gone home. The windbag would have been locked up somewhere, and Poseidon would be like, wait, why didn't he die? God knows how many years later. By the way, Fuzz, it's good to see you again, my dude. Captain, what's the plan? Exactly. Hey, Sans. All right. I love this beat pickup, by the way. Just wait for this.
Then you have forced my hand.
The electric guitar.
Lower your weapon.
No can do. You miss your wife so bad you drain the lives of your own crew.
Don't make me fight you, brother. You know you'd have done the same.
If you want all the power, you must carry all the blame.
That irritates me. That line right there. Stay in school. Don't do drugs. Buddy, I think you're in the wrong crowd. Eat your teeth. Yeah, definitely wrong crowd as far as it goes. Fair members of the community are some level of an alcoholic. Most of us are highly functioning. And on the other hand, a good chunk of us are, some of us dabble in the 420s, dare I say.
Should I
But
go
it's-
vodka or beer right now?
Vodka, it's
I don't
better
know.
quality than beer. Beer's lame.
Or- I just
There's
wanna
also
get
a
rid
lot
of
less
beer.
calories in beer than vodka. I wonder who that would be. I can imagine while you're saying that, Kit, you're hitting the puff right now. Just saying.
I wonder who's the alcoholics.
I wonder. But it's good to see you, Fuzz. By the way, for those who do not know, Fuzz is a new friend that we made that raided into me. They are a frog VTuber, and they're also a top 10 Adam Warlock player on Marvel Rivals.
Oh, Shizen.
Right? It scared the shit out of me when they raided in. I had no idea what was happening, but cool vibes. I checked out some of your clips, dude. Your aim is sick. I need to get better on Adam.
Chocoholic. Yeah.
I'm not an alcoholic, but I'm a chocoholic. It has to be good quality chocolate nowadays. I've become a bit of a bougie bitch when it comes to chocolate. I am Adam. Wait, no, I think there's actually a TikToker that's got you beat that does the full cosplay and everything, my dude. Respect, you're good on Adam, for sure. Funnily enough, one of Kit's chocolate types is also another form of substance. They're just chocolate mushrooms, guys. Cosplay, but I don't need cosplay because I am him. When you get to number 1, let me know, and then I will start calling you Adam. How about that? Just let me know when you get there. You're already well on your way. Getting back into it.
This is where you find out he's the one who's the actor. That's the actor for him.
The voice doesn't line up, but I hear you. All right.
The same. If you want all the power, you must carry all the blame. Eurylochus, Eurylochus, Eurylochus. Odysseus, Odysseus. There is no price he won't pay.
I am not letting you get in my way. My brothers, why?
How are we supposed to trust you?
Literally stabbed in the back. Not even a joke. They literally stabbed him in the back.
Unity. Bottom line,
Red
what
Scouts
say?
3. Don't be rushed.
Now, your time has come, your luck's run out. Now, the time has come to shut you down. You relied on wit, and then we died on it. Whoa.
My head. Where are we?
They at least patched up his wound. They didn't want to kill him.
They also took his armor and I'm guessing his sword.
Absolutely.
left and
And-
tied to a pole.
Some
Mhm.
island.
Well,
The first one we found, it's bursting with cows, just roaming around, begging us to eat. So much meat, and hunger is so heavy. This statue, the god of the sun, don't know where it's from, but here's where we found all these cows to hunt. Right in front, and hunger is so heavy. Hunger is so heavy.
okay, before we get into his response, I want to point out you found yourself on an island. There's this one single statue of a god and a field full of cows. Do you really think sticking around and giving in to the temptation of eating them is a good idea?
I mean, it might not be the worst. Hear me out. There wasn't any like sign of any god in the previous on the island with the Cyclops.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I know in the old movie, I think there was a temple on the near the top of the mountain, but I never saw anything in like that. And I'm talking about a very old movie at this point.
yeah.
Also, the whole thing about taking responsibility earlier, you pointed out you hated that line. I do think it's kind of for the idea of responsibility for your decisions, but I do 100% agree that it was a really
Of all the lines he could have
Bad
said
line for
right
him.
there, and like I said, if one of his other crewmates wanted to say it, I would almost give it to him. Back to,
yeah. If it wasn't
"Ugh."
the fact that nobody else in the crew has a name so far, yeah,
Yeah, though there's just some moments a part of this musical that makes me. Don't get me wrong, the singer for Eurylochus, the songs that he's good at, or like in, are great. In this telling of the story, I want to drop him on his head. That is the emotion I have tied to Eurylochus.
yeah, no, I understand that. I'm feeling it a bit.
Now, this is where Odie, with his otherworldly knowledge, comes in again.
Please don't tell me you're about to do.
We're gonna play that back. Listen to how broken he sounds right now.
Hunger is so heavy.
Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think you'll do.
Odie, we're never gonna get to make it home. You know it's true.
You don't know that's true. This is the home of the sun god.
I'm starving, my friend.
But if you kill his cattle, who knows what?
Do you recognize the beat, by the way?
Feeling it.
No, do you recognize it? Because this is how this beat has been played before.
Yeah.
So for those in
There's
chat,
the one for the earlier one when he was Wind God.
no, but just before the Wind God, this same piano beat, but I believe it's maybe downscaled or slower. This is from "Don't Run Out" or "Your Luck Run Out." This is that same beat, and it's going to be very apparent here in just a moment.
He'll send. This is the home of the sun
I'm
god.
tired, my friend.
But we're so close to home, this can't be where it ends.
How much longer must I suffer
Please
now?
don't do
How
this.
much longer must I push
I
through
need to
doubt?
get
How much longer must I go?
Do y'all hear it?
Yeah, no, I do.
I couldn't remember the name. You're good, Fiddles. You're good.
I just remember.
Hmm?
I remember him saying, "This is the home of the Wind God." It feels like there's a similar beat for a lot of these little bits.
There is some repetition, and I think a lot of them are good when they have the callbacks to like earlier songs. There's a really, really funny callback that's going to happen in like 6 songs from now. God, I shouldn't have that memorized. But anyway,
You seem to have an addiction to this, brother.
buddy, I
frankly,
listen to this when I go
you're-
for a walk,
I thought
like
you
on a
told me
regular
that's what-
basis. If you guys saw my YouTube music listen hours, I probably have a couple, or at least now if I do, I only got obsessed with this a couple of months ago, and I probably have more than a few hundred hours of listening to just Epic the musical songs. I wish I was joking.
job.
It isn't. It is addictive. Like the music is so good, and the story that it tells is so emotionally impactful that I do constantly listen to this. It will send me through a full spectrum of emotions when I listen through.
Yeah.
How much longer must I go about? like this when people die like this. Whoa, how much longer must we suffer now? How much longer must we push through doubt? How much longer must we go about our lives like this when people die like this? Whoa.
Really gets no!
And that motif came back. I'm just a man. Right there. I want to point out, when Odie says, I'm just a man, it was started off with the infant. But then it became, I'm just a man, which is why he doesn't want to keep dealing with blood and suffering, so on and so forth. It was, I'm just a man, but he didn't give in. It was, I'm just a man, but. I'm just a man, but he didn't sleep with Cersei. I'm just a man, but. I'm just a man, and he's using it to excuse what he was about to do.
Yeah, it's very hugely different connotations to the way they are said.
You've doomed us. You've doomed us all, Eurylochus!
Captain?
We need to get away from this island now! Grab an arm with all the strength your arms allow!
And even after everything, he was still trying to get him and his men out. Now, mind you, he needed his men to push the boat, as fully arguable, easy. But, like, he's still, Emil's like, we have to go. Come on, guys, let's go. Emilio took the role of captain again to try and correct him.
He could just stay tied up to the boat, to the statue. I'm pretty sure he'd be able to get a good argument with the god.
Yeah, true.
These cows were immortal. They were the sun god's friends. And now that we've pissed them off, who do you think you'll send? Full speed ahead.
And there's full speed ahead, but in a very different meaning now.
Yeah, it's not him saying full speed ahead, it's everyone thinking it.
Full speed ahead. Faster. Full speed ahead. Faster. Full speed ahead. We're too late.
That is a mean art piece right there.
God.
Damn, this artist had an opinion and they decided to draw it. All right. So the next song is on par with like the styling, in my opinion, to when you first meet Poseidon. Wait, is this also a Neil? Hold up. It is Neil. Okay, there's this joke on the internet. It's on par. Neil makes all the gods sexy every time. So,
Okay, now I'm curious.
well, he was the one who
He was the
drew
one who did
Poseidon
Poseidon,
like
right?
an absolute badass with the water claw and everything.
I mean, but I'd assume since Zeus can shapeshift, he'd probably make himself sexy as shit, especially with his promiscuous ways. That being said, we both know Poseidon's also equally, if not more so.
Look, the Zeus
They're
the
siblings, they're
pantheon of
brothers.
the gods is the male side of things is just a group full of frat boys, basically. That frat boys with no control and no sense
I'd like to
usually.
point out there were 3 brothers: Zeus, Poseidon, and then fucking Hades, who is the only god in the entire goddamn pantheon that doesn't boy.
There's actually a really funny series of memes about what Hades' perspective of everything that was happening throughout these moments. And Hades finally talks with Odysseus at one point, and Hades is like, you know, I heard you in my neck of the woods. Heard me? Yeah, you were screaming about becoming a monster over by the river of Styx. I debated seeing what was going on, but I didn't care enough to see what was happening.
I imagine it would.
It was
He
such a
knew
fun.
it was.
There are so many TikToks that once we're
Love
done with
Hades.
this musical, I have to show you at some point. They're all so
do.
good. They are
bro.
so good. Like, here's the thing: I love Epic the Musical for many reasons. The music is goated. The art is great, but the community behind Epic is so funny. Like, they take everything and roll with it. The dude who sings the lines for Hermes, fully, when he sings as Hermes, he dresses up for the part. In the parts where he's in the recording booth, dude is decked out in the drip to look like Hermes. And it's amazing.
Fantastic.
Like, what was Hades doing when this was going on? Hades was literally just sitting up in his castle being like, oh, there's another mortal screaming.
But he was like, God damn it, Poseidon, when the entire 500 came.
Yeah, it's like, that's just so much more work for me to do. Brother, come on. Look, I get it. I'm the dumping point for all these bodies, but can you bring me less bodies to dump?
Seriously. It's a rare stick.
I was going to go on vacation. Me and Cerberus had it planned. We were going to go to the beach. He was going to go run around to the water. And now we're stuck doing these souls. Like, damn it. Was he busy with something, or was he watching from the sidelines with popcorn? No, that's Ares every time Odysseus gets on his murder arc, but that hasn't happened yet for you guys. So, all right, suggestive things and flashing lights. This is the warning, and I will say the guy who's voicing Zeus does a really good job to channel that energy. You'll see what I mean real quick. Thunderbringer. It's such a good song.
That vibe is so different from most of the other songs.
What was that quoted?
The entire vibe of this song is just different, which I kind of like. It does give Zeus that additional presence. He hasn't even fucking appeared on the screen yet.
Because the only time we saw Zeus was for at the very beginning. It was we heard his voice telling him to slay the infant. That was the only introduction of Zeus we've had so far. Also, I love how Neil does their drawing of Odysseus. He looks like a man who is worn down, but he also looks older, like more along what his age actually is. Which, if I recall right, I said was between 40s and 50s. When after, yeah. Eurylochus is like, damn, he was right. Shit.
Pride is a damsel in distress, hiding away where.
It does make me a little uncomfortable that he's manhandling the clouds. I'm just saying there's something about it that ain't quite right. It fits his character, but it's a little uncomfortable.
Zeus, stop screaming the clouds when you're killing people. Please.
I can undress her.
They're like, what the hell? Did he just rip off the cloud's clothing? What the hell? The more I look at this face and what we just witnessed is like, but wait, huh?
It's pure terror and confusion. That guy in the back
Fiddles
left
is over
right
here
there
doing the,
on the-
oh no, he's hot.
The guy on the right of Eurylochus behind him immediately, that guy's face is exactly what it should be.
That guy's like, I just shit myself and I hope nobody notices.
The one on the left of him, behind the second row, mustache man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem as concerned. He's more just angry.
He's like, I lived an old
everyone's
life. If I
dead.
get to die by a god, screw it. It's gonna end one way or
He's like,
another.
I'm tired of this shit. I got already.
This has been a long trip. I was supposed to be home 10 years ago. My wife's probably already dead. Like, just end me. Let me reunite.
My wife's already probably moved on, for God's sakes.
This guy over here is like, so that's what he looks like. I'll have to update the fan fictions.
He's in sexual questioning right now.
He's in his bi panic.
Far right as well. That guy is in panic.
Holy shit.
No, far left, I mean.
Yeah, this guy over here is like, he doesn't see me. He doesn't see me, right? He doesn't see me, guys.
No, that's Fiddles. Oh no, he's hot.
Pride she cannot to confess. In the end, it's all the same once I apply all the pressure. Thunder, bring her through the ringer, show her.
I love how the thunder adds to the instrumental, by the way. Like, it's kind of guaranteed it's Zeus. The name of the song is Thunderbringer, but it actually, the sound of the thunder adds to the instrumental with the guitar in the background and everything. And the bass or the drum beat is like kind of bump, but a bump, 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 but a bump, 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 but a bump, bump between thunder cracks. Thunder crack? Would it be?
Thunder cracking, or thunder crackle, or whatever. Yeah, thunder
Yeah.
crack makes sense.
I'm the judgment call, the one who makes her kingdom fall. Lightning wielder, use and yield her. Show her what she can't conceal, for true nature will be revealed. Tell me, Odysseus, if I were to make you choose the lives of your men and crew or your own, why do I think they lose?
This smug shithead. Hey, Giggles. You are right on time for Thunderbringer, Giggles. Yes, you are. Fiddlestick says, you can see that he could have short hair. He's using the clouds and lightning as a mane for his hair. And he's got a giant mane of hair and curls. Yes.
I can't deny, absolutely. He is 100% got his feeling in that. He loves this.
Oh, no. Like,
Whoever's singing as Zeus loves every second of what he's doing right now.
absolutely.
he's
You
not
have to
that
feel like a god to sing like this. Like, 100%. He went all in with it, and I respect it. There's method acting, and he's method singing. It's impressive.
Lightning, king of Ithaca, since hunger was far too great. I wonder who'd take the weight of the damned and suffer a gruesome fate. To the thunder bringer, here to bring your ears until you're deaf with fear, and spear you while your death is near. Lightning wielder, here to yield your time, for you have passed your prime. Sublime you for your act of crime. Choose.
Too close, buddy. Too close. No, I can smell your Axe body spray from here. Back up a little bit. Come on now.
I feel like you should generally be concerned if Zeus appears behind you.
Yeah, no,
Bottom
you really
line,
should.
no doubt. Straight up, if he's behind you, just
If he's behind you, scream. Where's the whistle, guys? Where's the whistle? All right, that joke might be a little dark, even if it's on brand. Not
Zeus
the
just
Axe
screws him off.
body spray.
In fact, I think he only ever screwed one guy, but I'm not too sure about that. I feel like there was more.
Hmm.
Choose.
Someone's got to die today, and you have got the final say. You or your crew.
Or your crew.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
And it plays back to this freaking. When does a comet become a meteor? When does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does a man become a monster? Candle become a flame. I had the order wrong.
Captain?
I have to see her.
But we'll die.
I know.
Right there. I know. Now,
Zeus's smile.
Zeus is enjoying every second of this. However, we're gonna let this play out, and I'm gonna plead my case one last time.
Thunder bring her through the ringer. Show her I'm the judgment call, the one who makes her kingdom fall. Lightning wielder, use and yield.
They're trying to kill him before Zeus can kill them.
She can't conceal, for true
Yeah.
nature will be
Which is really dumb because he wouldn't change his mind. He'd still kill them all.
Yep. Okay. One, nice aim, Zeus. Not sure how you pulled that one off, but whatevs. Here's my case.
Lightning is-
I am pleading it now.
Okay.
If we're talking about kill counts, the actions of Eurylochus directly ended up leading into the death of more people. Between the windbag, and even if Odie had this decision, he only had to make this decision because Eurylochus killed the cow which summoned Zeus. My point,
Yeah.
if the kill count is Odie 6, Eurylochus freaking 500 plus, just saying. That's
600 people, take away the 6, then take away, I think we roughly estimated somewhere between 13 and 20.
I think it was probably it was barely. I wouldn't have said more than 12 to 13. In the, like I said, a lot of it is deciding on the animator's perspective of how many people died with the Cyclops.
Yeah.
But still, case in point.
We could barely guess it. I'm gonna say we leave it at like 15.
Yeah.
So we got 600, take away 6, so 594, then take away 15 on top of that.
Technically, the kill count you could say is because of the gods. So that's 500 and I'm sorry, my brain's not doing math right now. 579. 579 people died because of the gods, but those actions were directly tied to a windbag being opened and a cow being killed.
Well,
Just
I guess
say
it was yeah.
So when everybody are
technically speaking, if you want to argue the point, Odysseus did technically save 3 guys, which if you were to, playing about with numbers, might as well just counteract 3 of the kills, because he did save people from getting eaten as pigs.
True, he saved 3 of his men just for them to die later, whether or not they're the same people. So yeah,
technically speaking,
3 to
he has a kill count of about 3. If kill death ratio wise.
Yeah,
we're giving it a bit of rundown there.
So I'm just saying, like, when we were going through this whole musical and you were saying you were siding with Eurylochus, I get it, I do. But on the other hand, the entire time I'm laughing to myself. I tried so hard not to spoil anything for you, and I feel like I did a good job.
You did. I'm still pissed with Eurylochus. I do think anything before that situation, I was Eurylochus.
Oh, absolutely. I knew that when we got to Scylla,
like you'd argue similar point, because you wouldn't have probably done the whole Silica thing.
Okay. So that's a rough situation. What I probably would have done is I at least would have been open with the crew with what was going to happen and decide if they were wanting to fight and everybody die, or if 6 people would want to try and be sacrificed. As in, like, they could try to fight her off while they're being munched, but like let them know exactly what if I was Odie in that situation, I would have told them how dire the situation would have been.
I fully see that. I feel like probably we'd be a lot earlier in the situation between me and you. If you said no, let's not kill the Cyclops, and then you decide to leave, I'd have taken another ship, gone back, and killed the Cyclops. I'm sorry, you'd have not been able to stop me.
After the doxing, if it was actually me in the Odie shoes, I would have been okay with it. But no,
I mean, like, I don't think we would have given it so much away. But at the same point, we're in these situations, so if we're in our situations, not going to happen as much.
True, but I'm going to say this. So you have now seen this arc. We'll let this. And it's just the piano going into the mellow ending. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to review, for those who are watching on the live stream, we're going to review the last 3 songs. Chloe's going to give us the feedback. We are going to end this recording, and then we'll be starting the recording for probably my second favorite arc in the entire thing, which is the Wisdom arc. And it is so good. You'll also be meeting literally what I think my favorite character is at this point. We haven't met them yet.
Oh, you did say last time that your favorite character was someone I hadn't met.
Yes. My favorite character is probably the most likable character in the entire thing. It is not a like controversial opinion to liking this character. Polites is best boy, but he doesn't last long enough is the issue. He keeps coming back with him being haunted, or him kind of like haunting Odysseus in certain moments.
Aspect.
Yeah, like he comes back in a really, really menacing way. But no, as much as Polites is best boy Puddle, I'm going to keep referencing that every time because I thought it was funny when I first said it, and it's still funny in my head.
Yeah, no, agreed.
But what were your thoughts on those 3 songs?
Silica, I enjoyed. The whole situation looked really cool.
Okay, I'm gonna say something, and I'm not trying to be an ass. The name is just Scylla, buddy.
Scylla, fine.
Scylla. Yeah, you keep saying silica, and I feel like I know why, and that is absolutely fine. But in this instance, it's just the layer of Scylla.
Right? Hey, Scylla. Really cool, and I really enjoyed the way she looked, and the way that the entire situation was portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Mutiny was very cool. Did obviously counteract what I said earlier, but I do see where everything was going with it. And hypothetically speaking, if I was in the same situation, I could imagine pushing for a mutiny. As the second in command, it really made sense.
I'm gonna
Even
throw
though he
one thing
wasn't
into the
until
mix on
later on.
that, by the way. One of the things I love with Mutiny is how much it plays back to Luck Run Out. I love how they did that between the beat and everything else, and then the crew in the background on both songs. I loved how they did that. That was one thing I enjoyed. So one of the things I was talking about is how everybody has their own instrument. So technically, Eurylochus doesn't have in a lot of his songs. It's not just a given instrument. One of the things that you can say is like Eurylochus is like of his crew. He's what represents his crew. So whenever he's singing his lines, the background vocals are the crew saying what he's saying.
Yeah.
And that's one of the details I've
I
always
see that.
liked about when it comes to him on the tracks. And how they bring that melody back, but in such a darker tone, is very nice to me.
Yeah, like part of the reason I think Mutiny works really well as an ace line for the story aspect, and I do not mind the music, but the story aspect of it really feels really emphasized by how it's gone. The song
Mhm.
makes sense more because of how much it's emphasized by what's happening. There's been when does a man become a monster, and just his constant like lethargic feeling, and then after the incident with the sirens, where he decided to mercilessly murder them all, and not even just murder them, you take their tails and then you throw them back into the ocean to drown.
It was a torturous death. It
Yeah.
was
So I
horrific.
feel like it really made sense when he decided that he was going to get rid of some of his crew. So it really does just fill the void of where
I
logic
kind of
would
hinted
fill.
at this, by the way, when we were in the Underworld arc, and I said, "Yeah, no, his only goal is to get home now." I was hinting that this was going to happen, but I didn't want to give it away.
You did not, and I will be honest, I did not have any implication with that wording.
I said he
Zeus,
wanted to get home. All he cares about is him getting home. And I said, I think I said that twice during the thing, and I was laughing to myself while I was saying it. I'm like, oh, he is gonna hate this later, because just so you know now, his entire crew's dead. Everyone's
yeah,
gone.
I guessed.
Yeah, no, there's nobody left. Like all of his people are dead. It is just Odie now.
I will be 100% with you. I don't think I'd imagine Zeus would be so nice as to maybe let Eurylochus slide away, or somebody
Considering
in
Eurylochus was the one who did the slashing, I figured if anything, he'd be like, "You're dead first, dude." Like, no, my boy is pissed with you. Like, he watched you do it.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's agreed.
That was Frank. That was his second favorite cow. If you would have killed his favorite, I would have killed everybody first, made you watch, and then killed you slowly. It
Yeah,
seems like
literally.
everybody has a favorite animal. Like, I mean, the Polyphemus had the favorite
Favorite
sheep.
goat.
So I wouldn't be surprised if the sun god had a favorite cow.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And no, I do have to say, I think Thunderbringer is definitely my favorite song in recent.
I knew it would be. I absolutely knew this was
I
coming.
100% love how much he enjoyed his way in that. It was such a Zeus was so much in that situation that you couldn't escalate away from it.
I will say Zeus gets one more song. It's going to be a little bit later, but I think you'll enjoy that one too. I'm so looking forward to this one song that is sadly we'll probably not get to today.
Zeus has probably got my favorite sons. My favorite
Athena
song.
still has mine, but in a general sense, or the ones that she participates on are usually my favorites.
To be fair, she does have more so far, but I think from at least the last 5-6 episodes, it's probably my favorite song.
Okay, that is absolutely fair. Out of the last lineup, if we're talking about starting in Act 2, Thunderbringer is probably my favorite as well, with Layer of Scylla. As brutal as it is, I love the Layer of Scylla. Scylla is just such a different tone with the instrumental and the voice. With that being said, that is the end of this particular arc. We're going to be going to the Wisdom arc on the next video, and I look forward to seeing what you guys' reactions to that one is. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. Please click one of these 2 videos, and if you'd be so kind, like and subscribe. Take care.